Now that Texas is finally starting to cool down, it is time to make a patio area outside my camper. I've been slowly collecting all my patio stuff these past couple months, and now it's time to put everything together. First, I had to dump my AC water bucket. This thing fills up multiple times a day, and it's so annoying. But what's even more annoying is that this patio set didn't come with instructions or tools to put this thing together. So I had to go to a hardware store and get all the supplies myself, but thankfully I got it right. A lot of people like to set up their patio area in the summer, but here in Texas, it's like 110 degrees in the summers, and I have absolutely no desire to go sit outside in that heat. But since fall's right around the corner and I actually just moved my camper over by the water, I figured this was the perfect time to finally put this together. I want to come outside and start enjoying my evenings out here. I was obsessed with how this was turning out. This is going to be the perfect area. However, this took a lot longer than I'd like to admit. I started around 12 and didn't finish till about 5 p.m. I was just taking my sweet time and talking to people around the park. I put a lot of thought into what I was going to get out here for some shade. A lot of people have those little pop-up gazebos, but that just seemed like a pain in the butt to me when it got super windy. So I got this huge umbrella that you can easily open and close depending on the weather, and I thought I was done setting everything up, and there was some nasty weather coming this evening, so I put all the cushions up, only to realize that I had completely forgotten about the patio string lights I had. And y'all, I don't know what I was thinking trying to get these stakes into the ground with Crocs on, but hey, I halfway got the job done because some of them are still only halfway into the ground. But you know what? They're holding up, so we're just gonna ignore that I couldn't get them all the way down. And finally, after a few hours of putting this all together, my pink outdoor patio area is officially done. And if you're wondering where I got everything, it's all linked in my bio for you. A few weeks ago, I bought a fixer-upper camper off of Facebook Marketplace that I plan to live in full-time, so for the past couple weeks, my brothers and I have been tearing everything out and getting it fixed up. However, they couldn't help me this morning, so I was on my own. Try getting a couch out of a camper by yourself. It was difficult, but I got it done. I didn't have access to all their tools today, so I was trying to rip carpet up with whatever I found in their truck, which was a box knife and pointed head pliers, and I was starting to feel so defeated, and thankfully, I came across a pry bar, which was a game changer, and I was able to get all the carpet up in that section. Then finally, after a few hours, my brother showed up to help me and immediately got to work cutting all the other plywood pieces. Once we made sure that the piece fit perfectly in the spot, we put liquid nail down and then placed it on and nailed it down with the nail gun. And finally, the soft spot is fixed and there are no more holes in my floor. So I got to work ripping off all this trim, and you may think it looks fine, but there was water damage and everything was so dinged up that I went ahead and just took it all down. Then I started on tearing up the floors, and honestly, this part just might be my favorite. I found it so satisfying. It was definitely so much better than trying to tear up the carpet. And while I was doing that, my brother Sam was on the roof trying to find all the leaks and re-caulk it because we are expecting rain here in a few days and we don't want any more damage done. Then I finished tearing up the last couple sections of carpet, only to find another nasty soft spot. I recently moved into this camper that me and my brothers fully renovated ourselves, and now that I'm officially moved in and plan to live in here full time, I need this little place to be functional for me. So the other day I splurged and made a huge Amazon order, but before I could start putting anything away and organizing, everything really needed to be cleaned because it was absolutely disgusting. During our renovations, there was so much dirt thrown around, so there was just a really thick layer of gunk in all of these drawers. Then once I was finally done wiping everything down, I went ahead and started putting everything away. I've had these cups for a couple months now, just waiting to finally be able to put them away. And if you have limited space, this 12-piece pots and pan set is absolutely perfect for saving space. And before I get a bunch of comments asking for a link to a product, just know throughout this video, if you see anything that interests you, I have everything linked in my Amazon storefront in my bio. Once I started putting everything away, I realized that I went way overboard on buying cups, so I'll just be giving away whatever I don't need to one of my friends. You don't really realize it until you have to do it yourself, but buying everything you need or even just the essentials to have a functioning living space can be so expensive. But now that I've gathered a decent amount of what I needed, I can now finally start to cook and actually live in here, so y'all stay tuned for my camper journey.